Welcome back to Unraveled Game Thoughts. And I'm Wade. Today I have Boonlake on the table, courtesy of my good friend Jeff, who let me borrow his copy. And I'm going to try to walk through the solo version here. And we'll have to see how this goes. I have played exactly one game of Boonlake with multiplayers, and I have not played the solo version, but it seems pretty not that hard to comprehend. I mean, this is a Alexander Pfister game, who made Great Western Trail, Maracaibo, and umpteen other games. And but those are probably two of his more well-known ones. Great Western Trail being pretty significant. This particular game from Pfister is fairly odd. Not necessarily mechanically. Mechanically, it makes sense. It feels like a Pfister game. It's really the theme that is pasted on that is so odd for this game. The AI is referred to as, I think it's the Great Imminence on this one. If I get to that, because I'll have to refer to the rules a little. The wise imminence, which makes no sense because it feels like a very Western kind of themed game for the most part, but then there's these urns in here which feel a little bit Egyptian, and then there's the wise imminence which has an Asian feel to it, and it's almost like somebody dared him to make a game that had all of these themes pasted on in some form or fashion, but with his typical mechanics. I don't know. Very odd. But we'll try to play, and I'll try to do a teach, sort of, because if you're familiar with Boonlake, this is just going to be the solo version, so I'm really not going to go into great detail, not the kind of gaming rules detail or heavy cardboard detail that you might get on one of those channels, but to give you a rough overview of sort of the different working mechanics of the game. So point-wise, at the end of the game, you're going to score points, and I start with these cards here. You're going to score points at the bottom of these cards. They have a point value, so the starting cards you have, and when I say starting cards, these are randomly drawn from a deck, so there's not like a special starting deck. These are just some of the cards that you start with, and they give you various benefits. So think along the lines of kind of like Maracaibo, where you're sort of stacking little benefits, and you're trying to stack several benefits together in such a way that you kind of get more benefit as things go along. So for example, I forget what the name of the card is, but there's a card in Maracaibo that makes all other cards cheaper. So if you get like 3 or 4 of those, now all your cards cost 3 to 4 less every time you buy one, and you get several of those together. It just kind of makes it cheaper to get more cards throughout the game. So every action in the game has certain costs and effects, and so these can potentially lower those costs. They can give you immediate bonuses, they can give you ongoing bonuses, things of that nature. But they do give you victory points at the end of the game, and that's the point. That's a big point option, is having those cards in your play area, because it's like you're building up a tableau. I'm gonna try to move my items around here and put my tableau here. Hopefully it's reasonably visible on the screen. I only have 0 zoom, so I can capture what I can capture, and hopefully I've captured most of what's here. So that's a big point value. Then there's sort of this, as the game goes along, we'll be putting cattle and we'll be putting workers and buildings out on this board, and the combination of things we put out on the board as they are related to each other, like everything next to a cow will give a point for you, regardless if it's somebody else's building or your building. It doesn't matter. If you have a cow on the board, everything next to it will score some amount of points for that cow being there, and then that's a big point score. There are these areas on the bottom here, I've already placed mine here. So whenever I score, either if I score this action here, which is kind of a single action, I could take it multiple times in the game, but it's fairly expensive. It costs 12 coins, which money is fairly, you got to work toward the money in this game. Then I get kind of a big, sort of a big one-off. I say it a one-off, but you could do it more than once if you could afford it. And then there's a scoring here where I'm going to score for each, I think each factory, each upgrade that I have. I'll explain upgrades in a bit, but if I whenever I score this one, I'm going to get twice the score. And that's, so that one I want to make sure I've maximized as much as possible. These others, I can still score for them, but I am not going to get the same value from these. I'll just score it once. And if I don't meet whatever the requirement is for that particular scoring opportunity, then I'll lose some points. And it could be as little as 3 or 4 points. It doesn't have to be a lot. It's just potential that I could lose points. So that is good to know. So we're gonna do random, random, and random. Okay, so that is that, and this is the one I didn't take. And I don't think, let's see, what does a solo do? He puts a marker, never gets any cards. So the Wise Eminence in the solo game never gets cards or coins. And the inhabitants, boats, and scoring markers of the Wise Eminence's color, which is going to be the red. I am playing green. I would also point out that the Wise Eminence looks like a 1920s thug, from what I can tell, which is also a very odd dynamic in this. Doesn't really look terribly Western. Doesn't look like Asian, and doesn't look Egyptian. So again, weird theming on this game. Okay, so I think I'm doing the medium challenge where I removed 1 A tile and 3 B tiles. So the solo has these tiles here, and the reverse side has a guy in some corner, which helps decide in certain decisions in the game. You have to look at different areas of the map and look for certain numbers. And this kind of tells you what number do you use. So I'll walk through it in more detail when we actually get to his actions, because I actually need the detail to do his actions to make sure that I can actually get through them functionally. And I believe the Wise Eminence is going to go first. So we alternate turns. The Wise Eminence begins, carries out the first action, and then every time he has a turn, we're going to reveal the top tile from the solo stack for them. And I think what we can do when we say reveal, we can do it like that. And that will be like we revealed it. And orient it so it's an upright position. So basically I can kind of read it top to bottom. And then you carry out 2 effects for the Wise Eminence. First the upper half, and then the one in the lower half, where they choose an action strip and carry it out. And these are the action strips that they'll carry out. Well, I will carry these out as well, but that's kind of like they get one action that they're just gonna do, almost like a free action. And then they do their whole turn, and then I can follow if it has a follow action. For sundry effects, the Wise Eminence has to choose a location on the game board. And in this case, the preferred location is determined randomly. To this end, they take the number in the corner of the solo tile that matches their position on the top tile of the solo track. First, he looks at the bottommost of the 7 action strips on the action board. So he's going to look at this action strip here. If it shows settle, they immediately build a structure. And it does so, well, no, or if it shows cattle breeding, they immediately place one cattle. Okay, so I believe he is going to place a cattle. And if it's a B tile, they advance their marker one space on the cactus tract. Well, it is an A tile, so he won't do that. So with the cattle breeding action, they choose a location adjacent to at least one building and lay out a cattle pasture. These are the cattle pastures. And if possible, after that, they place one cattle on a cattle pasture on B tiles. They additionally advance their marker one space on the cattle tract. So he is going to lay out a cattle pasture. So let's see, is there anything? Well, I think he wants to lay, he would lay at 8, but 8 is full. So then he goes to 21, which is the next highest number. And 21 in Boonlake is legit. So he lays a cattle there, and then he will place one of his cattle there. And it's not a B tile, so I'm gonna lay these down. You can kind of see them better that way. So there we go. That is that part of his turn. That's the first section that he finished. And then now he's going to select this action here. Okay, let me double check the second part of his turn. After that, he chooses one of the 3 actions depicted on the solo tile, always opting for the action of the action strip that is furthest up. Oh, hold on, because he could choose either one of these, and this one is the one furthest up. This is the scoring tile, ironically. And then they carry out the effect. So what does he do for a scoring tile? With the region scoring action, chooses a region they want to score for. They subtract for each region his presence from the number of your presence. So I have no presence, and he's got 1 in that region in Boonlake. So I think, and I'm not going to get anything out of this because I don't have any presence. So I think it's going to be irrelevant to some degree. It's kind of a weak turn from him. Otherwise, 3 victory points. So Wise Eminence gets 4 victory points. We'll give him that. And then the other 3 regions are scored as normally. You get 1 coin. Okay. So he gets 1. I get coins like normal, but he gets presents and he gets victory points. It's 1 coin. Habitat, house, settlement, or cattle in those regions. So you get a coin for all of your presents. Okay, so that's another area of scoring in the game, is getting presents in the different regions. That was helpful to actually have that tile drawn first. And some other pieces of scoring that can happen in the game, you can build these levers. These are like, kind of like you get a little bit of bonus when different actions are taken in the game. And those can be helpful. So levers can give you, if you get up to, I think 5 or 7, then you get a certain number of points for that. And then sometimes there are cards that can give you even further bonus points from that. This is our resource area. So we have 2 canoes. So right now, technically these canoes are under wood. So I have 2 wood available to me. If I move a canoe this way, then I can get other resources. And I started the game, my selection of upgrade, because everybody gets to pick 1, is I got a rock. So right now I have 1 rock and 2 wood, if that's how it is. If I have 1 canoe there, I have that resource. If I have 1 upgrade, I have 1 of that resource. And if I have 2 canoes in a place, I have 2 of that resource. So here, because I have the upgrade for rock and 2 canoes, I'd have 3 rock, so forth and so on. Can always move my canoes forward at no cost. I have to pay 2 coins to move them backwards. So it's fairly, there's a little bit of cost to getting your canoes where you want them sometimes. When I played multiplayer, I never paid for the canoe, and I didn't have any cards that helped me move them backwards. I was just able to manipulate my cards functionally. So let's, and I did this wrong. I was supposed to pick the highest one and move it up, but I'm going to move this down to there. And he doesn't have a ship that moves. So basically, the slower I move, I think, the more the solo player is going to get options to do things. And the faster I move, the fewer options he'll have. So it's very, it's going to be pretty tricky, I think, to beat him to some degree, depending on how fast his stuff moves. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So starting out with 2 wood, I'm kind of looking at my cards and I'm trying to see what are the costs. Plus I also had these, and I also start with 6 coins, so 7 coins rather. I'm trying to decide to some degree, what's going to be the most beneficial to purchase right out of the gate. And I'm also trying to decide what can I purchase without having to move my boats back. And I think I'm going to go with this lever, because levers are pretty handy. And what this does, it lowers the cost of purchasing a lever during the game. And at some point, I'm going to want to get levers. Now, the catch to this is I also want to play a card on one of, like this is a sun card. There's sun. Well, this is evening. There's day, evening, and night, or daytime, sunset, and night. So there's 2 night actions, 2 sunset actions, 2 daytime actions, and then 1 gaining cards actions there. I don't know. I forget what that's called. Excavating or something. So I think I'm going to go, for the sake of just getting this game going and playing, I'm going to play a sunset card because I'm planning to take this sunset action, and I'll put that in my tableau. That's going to cost me 3 coins. So I'll get 2 back. That's going to leave me with 4. And I am taking this action here. So typically in the game, you kind of set that down here at the bottom because that's the action you've taken. And I'm going to be able to move my boat up to 4 toward the end of my turn, but I'm not going to make that decision yet. So I played my card, and now I can pay a lever. Now the card I played allows me to play levers for 1 less. And so the catch is going to be, how do I want to do this? When I take a follow action, these levers at the top allow me to gain a thing. I'm trying to gain upgrades. So if there was a lever that helped me with upgrades, that would be ideal. This one costs 10, and I think upgrades cost 1 less, and it gives me $5. This one gives me 1 less cost for an upgrade, and 2 coins, or 2 coins, or 2 cards, and it only costs 3. I don't see a lever. That has something to do with upgrades, but I don't think it's building one. It's like giving me coins for each upgrade I have, which could be good later, but in the immediate area, and this is an anytime cost. Well, this is anytime, but it's when I'm doing an upgrade, so it doesn't help me necessarily create opportunities for more upgrades. It just is a deal. I kind of like this because I can skip a follow action and build a lever, and that's kind of what I'm looking at here for right now at the beginning of the game. I really like these levers. They're pretty fun. So I think I'm going to pay 2 and build this lever. Okay, so that's the first half of the card. Now I can either draw another card, or I can pay a cowboy and I can build another lever, which is going to cost me more money. Well, I don't really want to pay a cowboy, so I'm going to go with the card, because ultimately I feel like that will be helpful. And this was an interesting card. It's a rancher. Cost me 6. Gets me to move up on the coin track right away, and gives me a point for every presence I have in the southern region. So that could be good later. but won't be good now. All right, fair enough. That's my turn. So these slide up, and then I am going to get to move up to 4 spaces. Well, I think I'm going to move 2 spaces, 3 spaces rather, and get a coin, because those are going to be hard to come by, and I'm going to have to find a way to get coins down the road. So, all right, so he's going to go, and he is going to flip a card, and he wants to do one. Let's see, which action is the highest? Is it this one? It's definitely that one. He is going to pick that action this turn. Actually, I'm sorry, that is not true. The action he's going to pick is going to associate with these, so it's going to be this one, actually. But the first thing he does is he's going to take one of those top actions, and I cannot remember for the life of me how he decides what the action he's going to take. He looks at the bottommost of the 7 action strips on the action board. If it shows settle, oh, so this was the bottommost action. So it was a B tile. In all other cases, they advance their marker 1 space, and if it's a B tile, 2 spaces. So he's going to move 2 spaces on the cattle track, and then his next action was here. And I don't think he has a ship on the thing. Does he move his ship? You know what? He does. He is supposed to have a ship, and I failed to put that out. Let me... It was that scoring action, and it was... I think it was 2. And so he would have moved 1, 2. But this one is 3. 1, 2, 3 is where he's going to end up. But we need to do the action itself. So in the higher action, they draw a building card. They draw a building tile, and choose a location for it adjacent to at least 1 building tile. All right, so he's going to draw a building tile. He's going to build it adjacent to another building tile. He wants to do... You know, I don't know where those tiles associate with. I'm trying to figure out what do the areas... Oh, it's just the number. So it's 13. He wants to build at 13 if he can, and it's next to a building tile, so he does. Okay, got it. All right, with the higher action, they draw a building card, choose a location, and after that, they advance their marker 1 space in the cactus track, and for a B tile, 2 spaces. So he's going to go 2 spaces on the cactus track. Done, and then I get a follow action, which is I could build a lever. Not a bad follow action. Or I could gain 3 money or 3 coins, or discard 3 coins or pay 3 money to gain a cowboy. That is tempting, but I'm going to maximize this lever thing. I'm going to skip the main follow action, and I'm going to build this lever for 2, and I believe that instead of anytime I would normally be either discarding or playing a card, I could skip it and I could draw, I can gain 3 money with that. I feel like that is a good, and I also, when I played my card earlier, I was supposed to move one of my canoes over. So there's my canoe, so that I have enough resources for that card. Because I want to get money down here, and I like that one. This lever here is the one that's kind of confusing to me. Let me make sure that's not one. I couldn't afford it anyway, but it is very curiosity-inducing regarding what does it do. Well, I don't know. And I don't see a quick and easy guide for that. So we're just going to say it makes an upgrade, or if I get an upgrade, well, you don't pay for upgrades. What would be one cheaper? Maybe if I'm taking an action? Yeah, that's a good question. That's not a functionally helpful symbol there. I'm not sure where that applies at all. Oh, when you use this lever, you may, when you want to play a card, reduce its cost by 1 resource. And the effect counts as a joker, so to speak, and you take 5 coins. Instead, you may also just take 5 coins and forego the resource joker. Okay, so you can either, oh, it says and you take 5 coins. I see. And you may, and take 5 coins. Instead, you may also just take 5 coins and forego the joker. So you could just take 5 coins for that lever. That's a good lever. That's pretty cost effective. But we're going to put it on that one just the same. Okay, so that's my follow. And now it's my turn. So I got to decide what I want to do here. Let's see. Place a cattle for less. That costs 6 coins. One thing I don't have is money. So I'm probably going to have to discard a card to get coins. Interesting. I need to get some more cards. We'll see. That moves me down the card track. That makes cards cheaper. I'm not as worried about making cards cheaper. So that's a night one. That allows me to put something out. I really want to get some of these board bonuses. So what do we got here? Don't want to lose that one. Now I need a day action. So I know there's a bunch of these in the deck because I saw them last time we played. I'm going to discard that one for 2 coins is what I'm going to do. So that's going to give me 2. And I'm taking this action here. And that's going to allow me to place a tile on the board. So the question is, where do I want to place it? I need money. I also want to get into these areas. Ooh, I like that. That gives me a cowboy, and cowboys are basically money. And then I'm going to place a cowboy. Ooh, I'm going to place a cowboy there. That gives me a coin, which is useful. And then do I get to do, I don't get to do the other half of this action, but neither does he. And I can move up to 4 spaces, but I think I have to stop in these locks, is my understanding. Not locks, these are the locks. You can go past those. I can move up to 4, and I don't count his space, so 1, 2. So do I want 2 cards, or do I want that urn? That is a tough choice, because cards are a really good resource. You know what? 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, because I don't count his. And I'm going to go for the 2 cards and skip the urn. A little bit of a tough choice, but I'm going to take it and see what happens. So he is going to look at the bottommost tile. which it just occurred to me, I kind of determine what his action is going to be for this every time. So he's going to look at that bottommost tile, and he is going to take the action there. So he takes this action, he draws a building card twice, and chooses a location for each item. Okay, so he's going to draw 2 building cards. Fantastic. And he's going to build in the 11 area if he can. Okay, so 11 is in Boonlake. Wants to go there. And then 11 is taken, so next up is 19, which would be here, but is taken. So next is 28, so that's down here. He's going to take that one. All right. They place the top house from their board onto the second building tile that they have placed. All right. So he's going to do that. He doesn't get money, but it looks like he doesn't move down those tracks, I'm guessing. This tile contains 2 sites. They choose the upper one. That's just 1 site though, no problem. On the B tiles, he additionally advances his mark at 1 space but didn't have a B tile. So that is that, and then it is my turn. Oh, does he have a follow? Whoops, I did not finish his turn. Good deal, good deal. All right, so he is going to pick whichever one of those is it the highest or the lowest? I forget this every time. Chooses one of the 3 actions depicted on, so always opting for the action that's furthest up on the action strip. Okay, all right. Sorry, I got an itchy nose there. So this looks to be the furthest one on the action strip. And so he is going to place a cattle pasture on, he can't place it on 11 or 19, so he's going to go for, well, he did 28. I think he can't do 19. Can he do 4? He can't do 4. So if he can't do any of those, then I believe he just starts moving around. Take the number that matches their position. Left. Okay. All right. Otherwise, they take the next higher space. Okay. So he normally would go for 11. He will then go for 12, which will be here. Okay. Instead, and I believe he will place a cattle onto the board as such. I'm going to flip those down too so it's easier to see them. And then he will move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3, because he doesn't waste movement. And I also will get the follow action. Okay, so picking up where I left off, I'm doing the follow action on his action here that he just did and moved down. So I am probably going to place a cow because that is going to be the most beneficial. And if I place one here, that will be 1 cowboy to place a cow there. So I will do that, and that'll cost me 1 cowboy. And then it is my go. And I am going to go back to solo rules here just so I have them up. And I think I already moved his boat the number of spaces it was supposed to move. So he went first, he's slightly ahead of me, and I've been going at a pretty good rate here. So let's see, what do I want to do? I've got lots of daylight cards in my hand. Let's see if I want the card to determine the action I do. And if there's not a card I need, but this would be a good card. However, I only have 4 coins. So I kind of need coins. I hate to use that one. This one lets me place cows for 1 less. What do I have that needs wood? Very little. I would need stone for that. That requires wood, and then I could move that forward to that, but I don't have the coins for it. Is there one I don't think I will use? This one's pretty expensive. I get to raise a lever with that one. That one's kind of cool. I like that. Blacksmith. I think, okay, so all of our daylight actions are down here, which means that's going to cost me victory points to do any kind of a daylight action. So really, these actions are going to be the best. And, Interesting. This one's really expensive, and I might see it later, but I don't want to do scoring. That is a tough choice. And this night action allows me to, is it gain a cowboy? I can't remember. I cannot remember all these symbols. But I don't necessarily need to move spaces, and I am trying to work with levers. And this one be, so I think what I will do, because that, I think I'm going to discard this action, and I am going to actually, I think what happens is instead of discarding a card, or do I discard the card still? What does that lever action mean? Let's see if we can find that symbol here. Basically, what does this lever here mean? It looks like every time you'd be allowed to play a card or discard it to get 2 coins, you can forego this and get 3 coins. Okay, all right, so I don't discard the card, and I can just do that to get 3 coins. Well, that's not bad. And we are doing this action here. So now I could purchase a lever should I choose to do so. And the question is, which lever would I like to choose? I kind of like the lever that lets me move my canoe back anywhere I want. I like that. So that's one lever, and then I can discard a cowboy to potentially get another lever. Indeed. What do we think would be helpful? Forgo to upgrade. That one's pretty good. Cost 1 less cowboy to upgrade a house. Not bad. But I really like this one. Or I could just get a card, but that seems like a waste to get a card. So I'm going to pay 2, and I'm going to get an upgrade action. I think that is the thing to do. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that one. I'm going to do this one because I can get 2 coins pretty much at any time. And I think that's a better deal. All right, I'm doing that. All right, so that will slide up, and then it is his turn. So he is going to flip a card. He's going to look at the bottom action. It is none of the things that are listed here. So he's going to move his cactus 1 forward. And then he wants to do the highest level action, which is the scoring tile. And he wants to do it in 32. That is the area. That's going to be down here. That's going to go here. And all right, so he's doing that scoring tile. And then, ooh, man, shoot, I struggle with the scoring tile. When the region scoring action, the wise eminence chooses a region they want to score for. You subtract for each region the number of the wise eminence. Oh, okay, so he's going to pick a region based on presence. The biggest difference in presence. So I have 2 presents here and he has 1, so the difference is 1. Okay, so he's going to pick, oh, I forgot to move down the river. I was going to move there and get a cowboy. So they choose the region with the highest difference. The number of your presents is most superior compared to the wise eminence. Okay, so that's going to be this region, Boonlake, but that's already scored. If it's the same, they choose the most northern. Okay. So if they choose Boonlake, there are 4 points. Okay, gotcha. I think, scored as usual, you get 1 coin. But that one's already scored, and they won't reset until the next round. So I'm thinking that, That's a good question. With the region scoring action, the wise eminence first chooses the region they want to score for. To this end, you subtract each region the number of the wise eminence's presence from the number of your presents. Regions whose rewards have been covered with a region marker don't count for this. Okay, so no other region is going to matter then. They choose the regions with the highest difference. In the case of saying they choose the most northern region. So actually, they're going to choose this region. And they're just going to get, earns 1 victory point for each of their presents in the regions on the B tile. So they get, what is it they get? I think they get 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3 instead of coins. I think that's what the wise region gets. They cover the reward of the region with the region marker and earn victory points instead of coins or cards. Got it. Okay, cool. All right. Wise eminence also benefits as you choose the action. So, and then I get coins, I think, for presents in the other region. So I have 2 presents here, so I get 2 coins, I believe, is how that works. Cool. All right. Hopefully I did that right. Yeah. Right? Does he get, because he doesn't get any coins for anything. He gets that, and then he gets that, but it's follow action. Why did it say 3 times? The other 3 agents scored as usual. For each presence in these regions, you get 1 coin. Oh, okay, they get a coin for each presence. So he's got 1, 2, 3. Got a little bug here. Not doing well getting it. All right, so he gets 3 more victory points. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Okay. All right, that's his turn, and he is going to move, I believe it was 2 spaces. So 1, 2. All right, we're getting close to the end of this round. We're going to have to make some decisions, and now it is my turn. Whew. Let's see. I'm gonna get to reset these levers pretty soon. But the question is, do I even have enough to do much of anything? That would require a night card. I could play a night card. No, it costs 2. I could raise a lever, or I could just use a lever at any time. I don't know that's going to be worth it. Haven't moved my markers up at all on any of these actions, which is unfortunate. I'm definitely going to go for an upgrade because I could use that. Wow, tough choice. I could use a cowboy and I could use a bonus, but would have to do a night card of some sort. This one is going to cost funding a lot to play, and I don't want to pay that much money for that. So I think I'm going to do this action here, and I will discard this card for 2 coins, and I will do that lever, which I think I can do anytime, for 2 coins. Try to build up some coinage here, get something big accomplished. And then I need a cowboy for this part, and I get to place a tile. So let's see, where do we want to place a tile? Has to be adjacent. I could get 3 cards, not bad. I could get 3 cards there, not bad. I'd almost rather him place that though, so I don't have to try to compete for it. You know, I think there's wood. There's another one of those. I'm going to take this wood because there's not many of these, and I'm going to take the wood upgrade there. And then we go over to this action here, which I can discard cards and coins to get a cowboy. I think these cards that are expensive are just going to constantly be sitting in my hand. So I will discard 3 to obtain another cowboy, because these cowboys are, or rancher, it's probably what it's called, are expensive. And then I took that from the 3, so I could move 3, but I'm actually going to take another upgrade. And rather than wait around until I can, it looks like that one might be the most likely one, but then if I don't get that, it's going to be a while, and there's 2 of those available. So I'm going to go with that upgrade, and his go. All right, fantastic. So what is he going to choose here? First we flip a tile, we orient it accordingly. He's going to look at this bottom. It's not any of those actions. So he's just going to move this forward 1. And then this is the topmost tile. He is going to be doing that action. And he is going to be definitely crossing the river. But before we do that, let's see what he does. So, with the settle action, they build 1 structure. On B tiles, even twice. So that is that's not the settle action, no. Is it? Kind of looks like it. I think it is. Yeah, I believe that's it. That's a settle action. They're going to build a structure. So is allowed to build a structure. You check how many of their houses are on the game board. If there's no more than 1 house, We've got one of those, but not a house. They choose a location with an unoccupied building site. So he's going to be looking for location 7 here, but that's not available. So he'll go to the next one, 18, and see if there's one there. No, but then he'll go 19, 20. Okay, here's the building site. All right. And place a house from their board there. That means places the house without having to give up inhabitants. They choose the upper one. But there are not 2. He's going to place a house there. Ignores all building effects. They choose with one of their houses and replace the house with a settlement. Okay, so he's doing that. Fantastic. Doesn't have to pay anything. Lucky dog. And then he's going to move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's round 1. And that triggers, well, he actually technically does it after this. So he would get to upgrade again. And he is going to place a settlement. They check to see how many houses, if there's more than one house. They choose a location. So I think he's just going to take this house and place this then, since he gets the free upgrade. Wow, he gets to do that pretty easily. Wow. Okay, so what do we do at the end of interim scoring? As usual, an interim scoring is triggered when a ship crosses a lock for the first time in a round. Conduct interim scoring as usual for yourself. Okay. The Wise Eminence only carries out the income phase and scores victory points for houses, settlements, cattle, and the cactus track. Number of victory points shown on the last vacated spaces. So if I upgrade, then I would take this cowboy. He goes here, and then I have to pay a cowboy, I believe, and I upgrade that. So I can do that, I believe. That's my action. Okay. Now all players must score one of the 4 cards. So I'm either going to score for upgrades, which is my card, I think. Yeah, that's the green one. So right now, each upgrade, if I have 2 upgrades and I have 3, I would score a number of points. The scoring marker of your color that shows 1, 2, or 3 victory points. Okay. So that would show, that shows 2 victory points. All right. Choose one of the 4 tiles in the game board below, which isn't any of your scoring markers yet. Take one of the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th interim scoring. Okay, so these markers, oh, I see, that's right. So this one's 1 point, 3 points, 4 points, but it's got to match. This is the first scoring, so I think I use, oh, it shows victory points. So it doesn't matter which one, it's the number of victory points. Okay, choose one of the 4 scoring tiles in the game board, which below which there isn't one of your scoring markers, which is the first interim scoring, so there are no scoring markers. And then you put the scoring marker on the space of your color and earn the points indicated on the scoring tile if you meet the conditions. Otherwise, you subtract these points. if it is the scoring tile that you chose during the game setup, these points or plus or minus are doubled. As a reminder, your scoring place shows the ×2 symbol. So this is the first scoring, I guess. And so I'm going to get 1 point. Each scoring tile shows a condition and 4 values that refer to the interim scoring. At the first interim scoring, you need to fulfill the condition with the first value. At the second, the condition with the second value, and so forth. Over the course of the game, fulfilling the scoring tiles become more difficult, and you must score for 1 scoring tile even if you cannot fill the condition. Okay. In order to meet the condition on this scoring tile, Peter's marker on the card track needs to have advanced 1, 2, 4, or 7 spaces by the first, second, third, or fourth interim scoring. Okay. All right, so I guess I get whatever points are on here. 2 points is the first scoring. So 4 points if I did that one because I meet the condition. This is 2 coins times victory points. That one's interesting. That one doesn't really look like a normal scoring marker. For each of your cattle on the game board. Okay, that's a scoring thing. Now we have an odd scoring marker, which is fantastic. Makes it more challenging here. Permanent effects, game end effects, lever effects. Here's the scoring markers. Okay, so that one is give up 2 coins immediately and as many times as indicated. So I would do it once at this point. As an additional bonus, you gain 1 victory point each time. You need to do this exchange the indicated number of times, but only while you are scoring for this tile. So I would have to give up 6 coins here, quite a few there. Oh gosh, that is awful. I think this is the one I'm going to score right now because that's going to give me a good, I can give up 2 coins and I'm not losing a ton and I'll get 1 victory point for that. So I'll do that. Okay, good, scoring, and now we receive income. So income is based on these markers, so I'm going to get 2 coins back. So that didn't cost me really much of anything, and I'm going to get 2 cards because that is where my marker is on the income tracks here. So not bad. I think I grabbed an extra card. Oh, I grabbed a couple extra cards. How about that? Oh, in case anybody's watching and like, you cheated, you saw those cards. Put those there, just in case. I didn't really pay that much attention, but then we receive coins and victory points for all vacated spaces. Oh, okay. So I have a house missing here, so I get 2 coins, and then I get 1 coin for this, and a victory point for each house I have, which is 0 on the board, I believe. And in cattle scoring, oh, that's the cattle scoring. For each of your cattle on the game board, you get 1 victory point per settlement on the adjacent building tiles. All right, 3 settlements are adjacent to 1 of your cattle. You earn 3 victory points for that. So I, in this case, will get 2, I think, victory points. 1, 2, because I've got a cattle there, and that's the only place I have a cattle. And then he doesn't have, there's no settlements there. And he doesn't have any settlements there. So I don't think he gets anything for that. Okay. All right. Move all the levers that you used back up again. Done. Okay. And then remove all the region markers that have been placed on the rewards. Okay, so these that got covered there come off. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, final scoring. Okay, gotcha. All right, so I think he triggered that, and now it will be my turn. Whew, all right, that is a little tough. All right, let's see if I got a card I can use here. I like the upgrades. I like putting those guys out. I really want to get this lever here because it is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you know what? I forgot to take a discount from my lever that I paid for earlier. This one here should have been one cheaper, and I totally forgot. So I'm going to get a coin back. And I'd really like to get that lever out if I can. The question is going to be, can I play this card and get that lever out? I don't think I can because that's 2 and that's going to be 2, but I need another upgrade to actually do that thing. So I might hold off on that lever for now. Although, if I forego a follow action, I could place the lever that way as well. But I like the idea of getting a bonus. So, a day action won't hurt either. And this immediately gives me 2 cowboys. Huh. Yeah, I think... So we need 1 wood and 1 stone, which we will have either way. But if I pay 4, then I will not have the funding that I want for a lever. Ugh. Ugh, ugh, ugh. I don't like these choices. Okay, do I have a daytime action? Still cost me 4 for that. I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But I have 2 of these actions. One's a day, one's a night. The nights are all the way at the bottom. Oh, I don't want to do. So we can probably do that one later. I will discard that card. You know what I could do is I don't have to discard. I can just forego that to gain 3 coins. That would be functional. And I will do that instead of that action. And then I'll just do my anytime gain 2 coins action. So I'm going to do that. Oops. And the action I am taking is this one. And so I'm going to put that down here. And I get to place 2 tiles. So I'm going to go ahead and place this guy for cowboy. And I am going to place this guy. Where do I want to place him? Let's get this upgrade. Because I was thinking about it earlier anyway. We're just going to knock that one out. I got an upgrade. All right, fair enough. Cool. So that is all of... Oh, that was my tiles. And now I can place a cowboy or get an upgrade, I believe. I'm going to place a cowboy. I've got a ton of money. I really want to get that lever to see if I can get more money later. There's 2 coins. That's going to cost me to go on the card track. That's an income card. That's pretty handy. Ooh, man. I have to pay 5 cards. You know what? I'm just going to go for flat out money, and I got to get a presence. So I'm going to get a presence. I got presents in Boonlake, so it's not like the most. I probably need to get some presents. You know what? I am going to go ahead and take, I'll take that. I'll pay two coins to move up on the card track. I'll do that. That's fine. All right, so that moves up, and that gives me a move of 4. So 1, 2. So that's 3. I'm gonna go 3. I'm gonna get another cowboy back. Those are pretty tough to come by. All right, so then he is going to get a thing. If there's nothing there, I think he uses that tile. But then we're going to reshuffle these. It's an A tile. He is looking at the bottom tile, has none of those things. He moves forward 1, and I also forgot to give him 2 victory points for his cacti last time, and 6 for that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he was supposed, I gave him victory points for that. I don't think I gave him victory points for that, which is 0, so it doesn't matter. Okay. So then he is going to pick the topmost tile. He's going to pick this one, and he is going to place one of these in 12, which he wants to place it here. And so he's going to go 13, 14 instead. And that's going to give him, he does not get anything for that. And then he places a cow onto that one. And does he do anything else? That's it. He's going to move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he doesn't get those rewards. So he is going to cross that lock really soon here. All right, so I have to decide what I want to do. I still have the option of that lever. Now the question is, can I afford this card and that lever? I think I can, because that would cost me 10, or actually 9, and then I just need to pay for this one. So I think I'm going to be taking this action here, because I think I can pull this off. All right. So first I'm playing this card here, which is going to cost me, I have my, because of my upgrade, I have two of the cloth there, and so, or the factories, whatever those are, and I'm going to take 3 coal, and so that's going to immediately give me 1, 2 of those, which I really need to move my coins, but that's going to cost me a total of 3. And then we are going to purchase a lever for 1 less than we normally would purchase it for. And do you know what I didn't do? Is a follow action on my turn. Or did I? Did I do the follow on his turn? He took that action, and I did not do the follow action. And I could have. Yeah, and I would have done that. I would have placed a cow. I would go up here, which is going to take 2 cowboys to do. It gives me some presence up in that area. All right, done. Okay, sorry I had to backtrack there. Still, like I said, one play of this game, multiplayer, so I'm still kind of learning, but hopefully this is still giving some gist of the solo. So I'm back onto my lever. It's going to cost me 9 coins because of this card here. So that will allow me to place a lever here for 9. And I think I can do this pretty much as an anytime action to get 5 coins, which I'm going to go ahead and do because that's going to help me out. And then I could spend another cowboy to get another lever. And I think I am going to spend 2 to upgrade that lever there. And did I spend my cowboy? Oh, no, that's a follow action. I have to actually spend the cowboy to do that lever, which I just did. Okay, so now I'm good. Leaves me with 2 cowboys left. Okay, no problem. And then I can move 4 spaces, which, did I move yet? No. 1, 2, you know what? I'm going to land there for 3, and I'm going to go ahead and give myself one of those. That's exactly what I'm going to do. All right. Yeah, we're going to do that. And then it's going to be his go. So he is going to shuffle these lovely tiles, and we're going to try to adjust the orientations when we shuffle them, because that kind of changes his starting where he likes to go. We're going to go there, and he wants to do, he does not have anything down there at the bottom that he wants to do, so he's just going to move forward 1 there, and then he wants to do this tile here. He is going to move at least 1 forward for that tile. And what does he do with that tile? That is a good question. If he chooses the builder or progress, they advance their marker 1 space in the cactus tract. On B tiles, they advance 2. Well, that was easy. Okay. So my follow action is I can play a card or gain 2 coins. So is there a card which would help me greatly? You know, any one of these cards would be fantastic, and daylight cards are the lowest, night cards are the highest, but I may not want to move that many actions, but who knows. Let's go with this. Let's go with this card, which doesn't require me to move my resources at all. It is going to cost me 4 coins, but it gives me 2 cowboys, which hopefully I'll be able to use. Okay, that's my action. Next turn for me, I am going to, oh, I got my follow, and he's got to move 4 spaces. So he is going to go 1, 2, 3. Oh, dang, 4. All right, so we are doing interim scoring. I don't even get a turn. We're just going back up here. And that kind of sucks. So have to fast forward, but I get my turn from up there. And we do scoring again. So if we check his, he's going to get 6, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Plus his cows, nothing, nothing. My cow gets me 1 there. Nothing, nothing. Okay. And then I'm going to get 2 coins from that. And I'm going to get 3 cards from there. And I feel like he's getting something else. I'm going to score down here as well. So I got to decide. So I need at least 3 upgrades if I do my own. And that will give me 3 points. But doubled, I'd get 6 points. Whew. But I don't know if I want to, because I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get that. This is number of presents, and something about the presents. Let me double check that one. Over here we have yada yada yada. These scoring tiles show 2 regions. Each condition consists of 2 numbers. To successfully score for the scoring line, you need to have the top number of presences in any one of the two regions and the bottom number of presents in the other region. Okay, so we'd have to have one presence in one region and one presence in another region. Well, I have presence here and I have presence here. I have one presence in the southern and I have one presence in Boonlake. So I think if I go here, how many points do I score? Play a card, you have to pay the cost indicated. Besides this, the bottom half, you need to fill. Okay. If it is the scoring tile that you choose during the game, set up these, victory, blah, blah, blah. So I think we just get 2 points for that, is my guess. It's the points for the tile I'm putting down there. 2 points because it's this one. So I'm going to go with that and hope that that's correct and I score 2 points. I need to get I really want to score this one last. So if I can get this one up, then I will be doing quite good. But it's going to be pretty tough to get that up. All right. So that's the interim scoring, and then, oh, he also scores for the cacti. I forgot about that, so that's 2. All right. What do I want to do? Daytime actions? Okay. I think that's just the start space. Nope, that's the harbor for 1 and 2 players. But I do like the daytime actions, and it gives me some things that I really want to do. So I think I am going to, in fact, spend 1, 2, 3, 4, all my money. That is going to move this down 1. I need to get that moved at least to the 4th spot. Actually down here, so I need to move it a few times. Whew, that's going to be tough. Now I do get all my levers back, which means I can immediately do those levers for 7 money, which I like that. And I am going to New Hope. Okay. Oh, that's down there. All right. Well, we can do 2 tiles, so that's probably going to be our focus here, to put 2 of these down and see what we can get out of it. I need money, man. But I want to let him put a tile there, honestly, because if I put this here, that's going to give me 3 cards, which might be useful. And I'm going to go ahead and put this here so that I can get that upgrade there. All right. And then I get these 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Done. And I get to put a cowboy out or upgrade something. I need to get this moved up. So I am going to pay 2 to get that income marker moved because I've got to get that going. And then his turn. So he doesn't, oh, he's got to flip a tile first. He doesn't have any of those. He's going to move 1 space. He's getting into his 3s there. And that's all he does for that bit. And now he's going to look at the top one. He's going to do scoring. And he wants to score for 8 up here. Well, actually, he scores based on the region he has the most presence. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's got 3, and so it's a difference of 1. Same difference. He's got no presence here, and I have 1. So I think he's going to want to do that region. Is that right? It just doesn't seem to benefit him. It seems like he'd want to score. I think, yeah, I think he just does that, and he gets 1, 2, 3 victory points. And then I score in other regions based on, I get coins, right? So I have 1 presence there, so I get a coin. And I have 3 presents there, so 4 coins? I think that's right. Well, if you're watching and you know how this game goes and you know I did that wrong, then let me know. I think I did that correct, but the scoring one is one of the oddest ones to me. All right, and you choose 4 regions, blah, 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 are scored for player. The other regions are scored for all players, yourself included. 1 coin for each of the presidents, inhabitant, house, settlement, or cattle in those 3 regions. Okay. All right, so it's just a coin. Okay, so hopefully I did that right. All right. So that is that, and it is... You know what I forgot to do on my turn is move, because I went first this round, and I would have been in this harbor, and he went, I think, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he would be there, and now it is my turn again. What do I want to do? Well, first of all, I definitely want to get up that track as much as I can, which is going to prove to be difficult. Ooh, that one's pretty good. I wonder if we could probably play that card. That's not a bad card to play, but it's a sunset card. But it is, we do have a lever we can pull. The other thing we could do is just not do that. Although I like getting a cowboy and placing a tile, which would give me a cowboy and money. And then I could gain more, or I could do that twice. It would take an evening card, but I could replace cowboys, and it would cost me almost nothing. That's not going to do anything for me. So that's a card I can probably get rid of. And I might get rid of that one. It's a tough choice. Tough choice. I don't 100% like the choice, but I am going to take this 4 tile, and I am going to play this card for 4, which gives me 2 cowboys immediately. I'll take it. I have the resources, no problem. And then now I can either place a cowboy or upgrade. I think I am going to make the very hard decision of placing one there and paying 4 for it, because I desperately need to get this moving. And I have the ability to place another one here, but I have no money, so I am not going to be placing it for anything of great significance. I'll place it there to get 2 coins. That'll work. Okay, so those are my cowboys, and then I did not get a thing where I get a card, and he doesn't do bonus actions, but I do get to move 4. 1, 2, 3. We're going to take the money, because money is good and I don't need cards. All right, so actually that's 5. I got 5. Is there anything else here that I would have done? No follow actions that to speak of, and I don't need to move that, so no worries. Okay, so he's going to go and flip a tile. So he wants to do this, which means, what does that mean? I have forgotten. Okay. Bottommost, if it shows the settle action, cattle breeding. Okay. Immediately build 1 structure, and they build 2 if it's a B tile. It is not a B tile, so he will build a structure. Oh, okay. I don't see a place he could build a structure. You check how many houses are on the game board. They choose a location. There's no houses, so he's just going to build a house, I believe, is the deal. And okay. All right. So he's going to place one. I think he's going to build where he wants some presents, would be my guess. Is that right? From the board, choose the upper one. Oh, they choose based on that search effect. So he would build in 31, which actually, that's where he's going to build. Okay, done. Okay, fair enough. All right. So then he's going to choose uppermost effect here, and he's going to do that. They draw a building tile and choose a location for it. So he wants 31, and 31 is filled, so 32 is next, and he's going to build that there. Done. After that, they advance their marker one space on the cactus track and on B tiles 2, but it's not a B tile, so he moves 1. Oh, and then he's going to move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I will get a follow action. Yeah, which is going to be pay 3 coins or discard 3 cards to gain a cowboy. Oh man, I am getting low on cowboys here. But I might have cards that I am okay losing. There's 1. I kind of like that one. There's 2. There's 3. I'm going to lose. I'm going to discard those 3 cards to gain my last cowboy. And that's my turn, or that's his turn rather, and then it's my turn. Okay, so what do we want to do? Oh, I could place, that would be fantastic to place that and to get, well, that's not going to help me. It gets me 2 cowboys. Gets me a lever back. Ugh. Neither of these are fantastic. Whenever I play a lever with this one, that's going to give me, it's going to cost 2 less dollars, which is going to get me down to $0 for the 3 levers and very cheap other levers. So that's not a bad one, but it does cost 6 and I cannot afford that. So I think some more cards is going to be, well, you know what? I could actually, I'm doing this action. That's the action I'm doing. I'm going to use this lever where I just get 3 coins and don't have to pay a card. That's going to help me. And I get to place a cattle out here. I'm going to place it here on that, and then I will get that upgrade. And then I will place a cattle on it, and that's going to cost me 1 cowboy, or rancher rather, and that's my go. Okay, now I'm going to get to move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just get that cowboy right back. And then it's his go. Okay, he is going to draw, orient. He looks at the bottom tile. It has place a cattle. So he immediately place 1 cattle. All right. So let's look at the cattle breeding thing. Oh. Location, adjacent to at least one building tile, and lay out a pasture tile there. Adjacent to at least one building tile. Well, he wants to do 27 down here, so he will lay that there. And they place one cattle on the pasture. Okay, it's an A tile. One space on the cactus track. Okay. Oh, they don't. He only moves it if it's a B tile for that one. Okay. So now he does a regular action. And he wants the uppermost, and it's this one. So for this one, he is just going to advance one there. And I get a follow action. I could pay a cowboy to build a lever, or I could just upgrade. And I think what I want to do is use that lever for my follow action, and I'm going to upgrade. Do I have a cattle somewhere? That's going to be a handy dandy upgrade. That's what would be fantastic. Because I'm going to have to pay a cowboy. And then I'm going to get, I'm going to get a cowboy back and upgrade that. Well, I'm not getting it back technically. I'm just going to do that. Okay, there's that. And now it's my turn. Oh, and he was going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, just barely not making it. Okay. Woo, all right. What do we want to do here? We can draw cards, play any card. I don't need it. Getting upgrades is pretty stinking good. I've got some coins. I like making those cheap. I like the scoring marker as an option, but I'm not sure I'm ready to do that. I like placing 2. I like getting on that track. He is about to cross that interim scoring. If there is any way for me to get onto that 4th place there, I need to do it. So I'd have to discard 5 cards if I went there. I'd have to pay quite a bit to go there, and I don't have the funds for that. I could pay 6 here to go up once on both tracks, which is not bad. I would have to be able to place a cowboy. So a daytime action is going to be the way to go. I don't need that card at all. So I am going to discard that for 2 coins. And I'm taking this action, which means I get to place 2 tiles. And I'm going to place, ooh, I could get a cowboy back, not bad. I could get coins, not bad. Don't need that upgrade. Don't need that upgrade. Ugh. Don't like it. But I do like getting a cowboy back, because those are handy. And I will go for 2 coins. I'd rather get a pasture there. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take a chance. I'm going to put that down there. 1, 2, 3, because I don't need that blue upgrade, and he might get in there. Gives me 3 cards, which could be handy. Okay, so that's my placement of 2 tiles, and now I can place a cowboy on the board. That's going to cost me 6 coins to do that, but that is going to get me up once there and once there, which is going to help me with the interim scoring, and I get to go 4 spaces. 1, ooh, that will get me my 4th upgrade, but I'll probably have a good chance to do that. So 2, 3, 3, 4. We're going to take 2 victory points, 1, 2. That's what I'm doing. All right. Fantastic. So that's going to trigger interim scoring. So he is going to get 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 35, 45, 55 points. And I am going to get, oh, plus his cattle, which are next to, so he gets 1 point there, 2 points there. All right, 1, 2. And I get 1, 2, 3, 3. That's it. Okay, so 3 points for me. 1, 2, 3. And we get my income of 7. I like it. And he gets, I'm going to get all my levers back. And then I'm going to get 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. And I get to put a scoring marker out, and I'm definitely doing this one. I have all 4, so I'm going to score 3 points. 1, 2, 3, because it's not a double scoring. Okay. Fantastic. I'll take it. All right. His go. All right. So he is going to flip tile, look, bottom, nothing. 1, 2. Spaces, looks to the top, no, 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 hat. So he's going to end up moving 2. That's his action he's taking. And he is going to draw a building tile and choose a location. He wants 29. 29 is here. He is not going to be able to build in that area. So next highest is going to be, he's just going to go around and he'll probably come back up to here and he will build in, let's see, this is 8. So he will have come back around to 5. He'll build there. Advance the marker 1 space on the cactus track and 2 on B tile. So he's going to go 2 there. Okay, that's his turn. It is, does he have a follow first? He does, and I've got tons of cards. So those work. That gives me those. I can turn those in for money, but I don't think I'll need it. I don't think I'll need that. I don't think I'll need that. Could be handy. Could be handy. And I don't, well, that could be worthwhile. So if I turn in these 3, which I think are the least likely to be worthwhile, I'll get one of those. The other option is I could just do, actually, instead of turning in those 3, which is actually maybe not as good, I can use an upgrade action, which would be very handy. And I can discard a cowboy. And I think upgrade this house. Boom. To there. I'll do that. Voila. And boom. That's my action. And he gets to move 2. So he's going to go 1, 2. And then it is my turn. All right. I like the upgrade action. I like that. Those were not terribly handy. So, but I really like that action as well. I don't want him to score, and I don't mind going 1 space because I could use the money and it's going to help me. And if I do levers, that's going to help me. And I've got the money for that. So we are going to do this action. Okay, we're going to play this card. So all my levers will cost 3 less. I'll pay 6 for that. I need 2 wood. I'm going to use that lever to move my boats back for 0. So I'm going to do that. And now my levers cost 3, and I can purchase a lever. So this lever Makes perfect sense to purchase because it's free. And then I can give up a cowboy and I can purchase another lever. And I believe we will purchase for 2. We will purchase this lever. Boom. I use that one. I'm just going to gain 5 coins because I can. And I'm going to gain 2 more coins because I can, which is actually another 5. And that is my go. And I get to move 1 space, which will give me 4 coins. Fantastic. All right. Okay. Interesting, interesting. All right, so he is going to draw his tile there, and let's orient it correctly. We look on the bottom, it doesn't have any of the things he wants. That goes there. Top tile closest to the top is this one, and he is going to location adjacent to at least 1 building tile. So that's what he's going to look for, and he does not find it. So he's just going to go with 11. And this will end up being the next one up. And he'll lay his final cattle there. Actually, that was next to 2 building tiles, so that would have been, that's perfect. All right. And is it a B tile? It is not. He is going to shuffle and orient these around and various ways. And then I get a follow action. I can place a cattle. It's going to cost me a lovely cowboy to place a cattle. Will it be worth it? I only have 1 cowboy and I don't have pastures, so I cannot do that. But could I get a follow action? I can just gain 1 of these, and I might need 1 later, so I'm going to go ahead and get 1 now while it makes sense to do so. And his go. My go, I mean. Oh, and what was he? He was moving like, I'm going to say 2 spaces. Okay. My turn. Did we do all the interim scorings? I think we did. Wow. This game's about to be over. Dang. That is quick. Okay. Well, this is probably my last turn. Shoot. I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose this game. I have a hunch. All right. I could do that. I could do one of these actions, which will give me some victory points, which is not bad. But I don't think that's going to win me the game. And, interesting. Well, that's a more powerful card. It will give me bonus victory points. I would need to have a boat here and a boat there. I don't need a boat there, I just need a boat there. That's a daytime action. I'd put a scoring marker down. Ooh, I don't know. That should have been released. I don't know that that is the most helpful. I need that upgrade action, probably more so than anything else. But I don't like the card options I have for that. There is no other upgrade for that. Well, this could be interesting. Well, maybe I will, let's see, what night actions do I have? I can pop a lever up. I could get some of those. I could discard a cowboy. The problem with the upgrade action is I need cowboys to do it, and the daytime action is maybe the best action for that. Don't like it. Don't like the options. Well, let's try the scoring option and see what happens. He's going to get to score 2, but it allows me to play this action here for 6 coins. Okay. And I have to have that there, and I have to pay this, and that's going to move me up 2 on that track, which is at least 3 victory points at the end of the game. So that's worthwhile, I think. Some victory points. And then we're going to score. So I got to pick a region that I want to do the scoring marker in. I think I'm going to do this region for 3 victory points, 1, 2, 3. And then I will get to score in the other regions, as will he. So he will get 0. He will get 0. Oh, he'll get 2, and I will get 2. All right, 2 and 2. And then I and he will both get 1 there. So that doesn't help him any more than me. And he gets 1 for that region. Oh yeah, we're not scoring in that region. My bad. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 victory points. And that is going to... Oh, he gets to finish his turn, I believe. So... And then I think I get coins for presents. 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2... No, these are mine. 1, 2, 3. I think I get 3 coins for that. Okay, coins. And then he gets to go. So he's going to pop that down. And what's he got here? Nothing. He just gets to move his marker. And then he's going to take the highest one, the flashlight. And he is going to get to pop 2 down here, which won't matter too much. He'd go for 27, so he'd go down here. And actually, since he counts up after that, he wouldn't go there. He would go for here, and then he'd go for here, and then he would go up here, starting from, I think, right there. And then he'd probably cover this one as well, okay? And then he will place a... He doesn't place cowboys, he just... What does he do? Building, choose location. They place the top house from their board on the second building tile they placed, taking the top action if possible. Okay, fair enough. Done. And then I get an action. You know what I forgot to do is every round I was supposed to get to upgrade, and I forgot if I wanted to do an upgrade. So, oh well. I can forego and purchase a lever for 5. Yeah, that'll cost me 5. So I'll just pay 5 and grab that lever. Fair enough. Never used that one. Too bad. All right. So then we'll do final scoring. All right. Final scoring takes place at the end of the second round as usual. And since the Wise Eminence begins the game, you carry out the last action. Oh. Oh. So he shouldn't have gotten that action then. I would have carried out the last action. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. I crossed it and then he wouldn't have gotten that. So he would not have gotten this or these 2 tiles laid out there. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Which also means I would not have got that lever right there. Okay. Gets their income one more time. They double the Wise Eminence during the 4th interim scoring. This won't change anymore after that. Oh gosh. He gets to double. instead you can double. Oh, okay, so you can just double it. So he's going to get 16, 32, 42, 43, 44, 54, 64, 65, 66. So 126. He'll be 126. And then in the face down solo stack, every unrevealed B tile gets 10 points. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. He had one unrevealed B tile, so he gets 10 more points. That's 136. What a doofus. Okay, well that's his score, so let me see my final scoring, which I'm pretty confident I'm not beating him. He also gets 1, 2, 3, 4 more points. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I get final scoring, which is almost certainly not going to win. But let's see what we got. All right, at the end of the second round, after the last interim scoring, final scoring takes place. How many levers did I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 or more levers, you earn 3 victory points per lever on your board. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 24 points. Gets me to 48. Done. All right, you earn victory points for each of the cards you have played, according to the number on the symbol. Well, that's going to be these. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 1 for each in New Hope. 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so that's 20 points. So I go 48, 58, 68. Okay, for each recess to the third tier of your board, which you removed a wooden piece, you earn 2 victory points. I was supposed to get this cowboy earlier, and I forgot. That would have been 1 victory point. There was some income I was supposed to get. I forgot. We'll see. Okay. 2 points recess. For each recess in the third tier of your third tier, that's here, you get 2 points. So I get 2 points because I only removed 1. In the fourth tier, you receive 4, blah, blah, blah. Leftover coins and cards don't get you any points. Oh, and I forgot to do my final scoring here, which is this one, which is, I needed 7. I got it. And that's going to score me 8 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then my cows will get me 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there you go. Final score, 83 to 140. I very much lost to the Wise Intimates and did not play this well because man, this game just ended faster than I thought it would. The second half of this game goes so fast, it's crazy. So you really have to engine build the first half and then really try to go for the point cards after that. And I should have gone for more point cards, and I was still trying to engine build real late into that second half of the game. So that is Boonlake Solo. It's fairly quick. This feels like a David Turtsy sort of rule book as far as solo goes. It's not terribly hard. Honestly, it's easier than Tawantinsuyu or something like that. But it does have a little bit less overhead for me to figure out what I needed to do with the actions. It was not that hard. But I think there are other solo games I prefer with less overhead. it's a good way to learn the game and get better at the game, I think, because I feel like the solo does mimic the multiplayer experience on a reasonable basis. And I would guess that if I played solo several times and got to where I could either compete with or beat the Wise Eminence, then I would guess that I would probably be pretty decent at the multiplayer game as well and have a better sense of how to just score points and win and maximize point values. So overall, enjoyable. It is fairly meaty, and I could see running through this again for the sake of learning the game better and getting the nuances of the gameplay down. I never took any of these big actions here, and I at least once had the money to do so. So I don't know if that was a mistake or not. I did forget to give myself 6 victory points. So 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. So it would have been 90 instead of 84. And I probably missed some scoring that I probably missed on some things. I think I forgot to give myself income at least one time, several coins for that last round that we went into. That would have helped a little bit and might have influenced card play, possibly. Although I didn't feel like I was short on money that last round. So, yeah, the cows and the presents on the board and the upgrades, I did not leverage those half as good as I should have. So that was a big miss on my part. I would have tried to get more houses in places, and I think I could have done that had I started doing it several turns earlier. Just was trying to engine build there a little bit and get my cards out and not thinking about that aspect. So there you go. There's Boonlake. Not a bad game. I still have to rate this as it might be. I haven't played all of Alexander Pfister's games, but I mean, Great Western Trail definitely is better than this. But I would rate Maracaibo over this, largely because of the theme. I just feel like the theme of Maracaibo, even though it has that colonialism piece, which I know is not going to be great for some, I would, so you could, from that standpoint, this one's a safer bet because it's not going to be, you're not going to have to worry about offending anybody. And this one's going to be reasonable from that standpoint. But I enjoy the concepts of Maracaibo better and how the theme played into the mechanics a little bit more. Plus the legacy play I think was helpful in Maracaibo. And this one is it's a little convoluted in how you do scoring. It's such an abstract game with kind of a pasted on theme that's okay. I mean, a lot of games are like that. I just feel like this one wants to have a theme and just doesn't. So it feels like a theme that was reaching. And that means I like a theme that fits a little tighter with the game mechanics. But that's just me personally. That's not going to be for everybody. These are interesting game mechanics. The action selection is real unique. I do like that. I like that the cards can be sold for coins, so you kind of feel like all your resources can be used. The cowboy mechanic or the rancher mechanic and how it kind of rotates around is an interesting concept. There's some other game I've played where it kind of comes into play, but I can't remember it. So I would play this again with others, but probably would not be a game I'd suggest or one that I would pull out and say, hey, I really want to play Boonlake again. I'm happy to have played it, and you know, that's neat, but it's definitely not among my favorite solo games, and I would say it's an okay Alexander Pfister game. If I had backed this game and had it in my collection, it's probably it'd be on the trade block most likely, and not because I just don't like it or anything. It's just kind of I try to cultivate my collection to some degree where the games that I keep are the ones that I really, really like or that my family really, really likes. And this one would be just sort of in the meh area for me. But again, that doesn't mean it's a bad game. It does have an interesting array of mechanics. It's just for me, it's not going to fit that nice sweet spot of games that I like to keep around and really want to get out and play a lot more. So, but there you go. Please post comments and let me know what you think. If you caught some things that I missed, which I'm sure I missed some things, because only with so few plays, I'm sure I'm not an expert in this game. Let me know what I missed. And if you are interested in supporting the channel, please visit my Patreon or my Ko-Fi account, and they are I'll link them in the description. And yeah, if there's something you want to see, if there's a comparison video or something like that, let me know. I'm hoping to do the T game comparison, or a couple other games I really want to get a solo to the table of, but I gotta sit down and figure out what my next project is going to be, and then find time to record it. So thank you, and have a great evening from Unraveled Game Thoughts.